Hi folks, let's do a quick video today. Did you know that Swift has a pretty convenient way to assign variables based on if and switch statements? My name is Donnie Wells, and in this video we're going to look at if and switch expressions. If you didn't know about switch or if expressions, you're probably assigning your properties like this. Right? You're just creating a let, give it a name, assign it a type, but don't give it a value yet. You write your if statement, and you assign a value, and then else you assign a different value. It can be quite convenient, but it doesn't look very nice to have that let without a value sitting there initially. Or maybe you have a default value, so you can make a variable, give it a default value, and override that value based on an if statement. Not too great, but it works. Or maybe you're a fan of ternary expressions, which are single liners, so that's nice, but it's also a lot harder to read because, well, here's what they look like. Not great. There's a better way in Swift these days, and that is to use if or switch expressions. And here's what that looks like with an if statement. We don't have to define a let without a value, we don't have to assign a default value to a variable, and we don't have to write a ternary expression, so that's all great. Here you're seeing an if statement, but we can also use switches if we want. But let's zoom in on that if statement a little bit first. So I can write my variable equals and then an if or a switch. And each branch in my if can only contain a single line. And whatever's on that line becomes the return value for my if statement. So if I put something on that first line in my if, that becomes the value if the if matches. Otherwise, we go into the else, and whatever I have in my else becomes the value for my constant. It's quite convenient, and it's really useful when we don't want to use the syntaxes that you've seen before. We can also use this with switches, and here's what that looks like. In our switch, it's pretty similar to ifs. We can only have a single line per case, and whatever we have on that line becomes the implicit return value, which we assign to our variable. It's quite convenient, especially I think for switches, and it removes the need for ternaries, which I really like. So what do you think? Do you use this in your projects? Are you going to use it now that you've seen it? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.